Hello and welcome to I know you're probably sick of me saying this by now, another absolutely scorching day here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Welcome to my channel, The Optimistic Gardener. My name is Steve Farley. Yes, another beautiful day. It's only just about 11 o'clock and it's 24 degrees already. Blue skies, as you can see, and the plants are growing absolutely fantastically at the moment. And I've just been going through the beginner's bed and I've realised that I hadn't done an update for a little while, so it's high time that I updated you guys that hopefully joined me in creating your beginner's bed, and updated you on how things are going here. And as you can see, it's all just about going really well. I've got onions in here, carrots, tomatoes of different kinds, some bush beans, yellow bush beans, some lettuce. I think it's lettuce, it's grown into some sort of triffid now. Spinach, not done so well, and peas at the back there. And as you can see, everything's going really well. As I said, another scorching day here in Nova Scotia. We haven't had much rain at all, a couple of days in the last 6 weeks. So I've been putting a mulch down, a bit late, a mulch of composted leaves, so leaf mould. And obviously a good mulch, as I've preached before in my other videos, is a great idea for your vegetables. In these conditions where it's so dry, it's conserving moisture. Obviously keeps the weeds down by cutting out the light down there, and then it's providing a bit of goodness as well as it rots down. But these tomatoes, they need a bit of tending as well. Obviously with this, one of the things with tomatoes as well, so keeping your tomatoes in really good condition, is not allowing them to get splashed by soil and the pathogens, etc., that can cause disease on the leaves, etc. So a good idea, and these leaves are now trailing down on the actual leaf mould, is to cut these leaves away so that we've got a nice bit of space down here. So I'll cut this bottom one as well. I'll cut this one here halfway because we want to keep some leaves. Same with this one. I'll cut that one away completely. Also, with these tomatoes, obviously cutting these bottom leaves away, we want to get a nice bit of airflow going around, and that's that other thing, that stagnant air not being able to flow around. So cutting these leaves off is a good idea. Other thing also I noticed, even though I have been going around, I've obviously missed a few here, is these suckers that are coming out in between the branches of the different tomatoes. This one's massive. I've missed that one completely. We want to be removing these. On these indeterminate tomatoes, that is tomatoes that just keep on growing, I want to try and create as tall a plant as possible, so it's just putting all its energy into growing up and producing the tomatoes either side. If I let these suckers grow, it will grow into a bush, trying to, look, there's another massive one here, trying to get itself all over the place, and we don't want it to do that. We want it to be nice and tall and just putting its effort into growing up and giving us nice tomatoes on the sides here. So all of these along here need, that one's all right, no, yeah, that's okay. Down here again, all along here. I need to cut these leaves off. And they'll do really well with the leaves they've got. A nice bit of airflow down there. Nice bit of mulch around them, keeping the roots nice and cool as well. And they'll love that. The onions as well. Now last year I grew onions and I put a mulch over half of the bed of onions that I did, and I didn't mulch the other half. And the side that I mulched didn't seem to do as well. But the stupidness in my plan, in my experiment, was one half was red onions and one half white onions. So what I've done this year is I've put mulch over this many sets of onions, and then these last 2, 4, 5, you know, that bit over there I haven't put a mulch over at all, so we'll see which ones grow the best. Oh, excuse me, these stones are digging into my knees. Right, carrots. The carrots are doing really well. I'm not really going to thin them out. They're not that deeply... Bit of grass there. There's not that too many, I don't think, at the moment, and so I'm going to leave them as they are. If you can just see, the bush beans are starting to come up nicely now, and they're coming into flower, as you can see there. So they'll hopefully provide me with a good harvest soon. Now, the lettuce. The lettuce has loved it, absolutely loved it, but it's getting too big, and I think it's just about to start bolting. And I've got lettuce all over the garden, too much lettuce. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to harvest a lot of this, and then I'm going to pull it all out. The reason that is because I want to put some, we'll come to that in a minute, but I want to put some cucumbers and some squash in, and I've got some fencing around the side, and I want to use the space for more summer loving plants. I could keep a couple of lettuce here if I wanted to, but as I said, it looks like it's about to start to bolt, so it's a good idea. And bolting is obviously when it tries to flower. When the heat gets, it doesn't like it too hot. When the heat gets too much, it will grow its flower stalk, and then the leaves taste a bit more bitter, not as nice. So they're going to be coming out. The spinach didn't do as well for me. It's a tricky one. I've got spinach somewhere else, and that's done fairly well. But as soon as the heat comes on, the spinach doesn't like it, and it's off, bolted. So they're coming out. As you can see, the peas, blimey O'Reilly, I didn't even see that. Look at that, 2 peas. Well, there you go. My first peas of the year. I might as well have a taste. Oh, that nothing beats. A fresh pea just off the vine, first of the year. Well, I've got a whole plethora here, which I didn't realise. Oh, that's good. I'm going to have to make a trip out to the beginner's bed a bit more often. Keep things in check. Okay, so these lettuce are coming out. Now, we'll do a quick switch round, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on the other side. Okay, so we're over the other side now, the trellis pergola side. And we've got runner beans running up this one, and I'm hoping this tomato, this San Marzano tomato actually, they've not performed very well for me so far. This one seems to have recovered and is looking nice and green now, so that's good, and hopefully that'll romp its way up this pole instead of creating its own pole, and I'll have them dripping down there. That was my idea anyway, and we'll see. So this is telling me that this probably likes it just that little bit warmer, and maybe I put them out a bit early. We'll see. Yeah, so we've got runner beans here. Behind me on the other side, on the garlic bed side of the trellis, I've got 2 purple beans, as you can see, and they'll come up nicely up this. Now they're starting to run up now. They'll just automatically curl themselves around this pole. That's good, and I'll be able to easily pick them in this dead space, which is the whole point, using the vertical space rather than wasting space in the bed. So that's the runner beans and the purple beans. As you can see, you've got this bit of a rickety contraption here. This is just a couple of old bits of wood and some pallet slats. And what I'm going to do when I take this lettuce out, I've got a butternut squash here. I'm going to use one of these butternut squash. I'm going to give it another week before I plant it up, and a little courgette that's just decided to start coming up through there. I'm going to plant them, and they are going to grow up this trellis. Now it's nice and strong, obviously, so that will take the weight of things like the butternut squash and the courgettes, what I'll do is I'll tie them in, and then when the fruits come, I'll net the fruits so that they're nicely weighted and not going to pull the plant down. And if it gets a bit higher, I'll just make it higher. Again, we've only got a small bed, using the vertical rather than the horizontal. And on the other side, on that side, on the pea side, what I might do, in fact what I think I am going to do, is where I've got some more space where I pull up the lettuce, I'm going to plant some cucumbers there, and they can run through the peas, and then I'll run them up the back, up a trellis, see how that works. An experiment, we'll see how it goes. So that is these, yeah, so courgette, you North Americans call it a zucchini, don't you? That's it, a zucchini, and the butternut squash up this side, and this will easily take that. So there we go. Ooh. Didn't notice that, there's an onion there that's starting to flower. So we want to cut these off because we want the onions to put all their effort into the actual bulb rather than the flower. And I can use that just the same as you use garlic scapes. Chop that up and put that in a dish, that will taste lovely. So the onions are doing well, carrots are doing well. Keep on top of your tomatoes. Cut all these bottom leaves off so we can get some good airflow around them, and they can put all their energy into the plant itself rather than in these suckers. Any more suckers here? No. Everything's looking good. Job's a good one.